Man Ray was not simply an artist. He was a force of disruption. A man who believed that art should never follow logic, only curiosity. Painter, sculptor, photographer, filmmaker, inventor. He refused to choose a single path because he believed creativity should not be confined to one medium, one rule, or one reality. Where others saw the world as it is, Man Ray saw the world as it could be if you stripped away expectations and let imagination speak. His exhibitions didn't just show work, they introduced new ways of seeing, thinking, and interpreting the visual world. Through them, Man Ray shaped the evolution of modern art in ways still felt today. This is the story of the exhibitions that built his legacy. Early New York exhibitions, 1910s, the beginning of a rule breaker. Before Surrealism, before Paris, before his photographs became iconic, Man Ray held small, intimate exhibitions in New York. These early displays showcased a young artist still searching for his vocabulary, yet already refusing to imitate tradition. The exhibitions included angular, fragmented paintings echoing Cubism, mechanical-inspired compositions, abstract portraits that challenged realism, works blending humor with geometry. Critics found him confusing, audiences found him strange. But beneath the confusion was a spark, the emergence of an artist unwilling to accept the familiar. These early exhibitions hinted that Man Ray was not trying to fit into modernism, he was trying to expand it. Paris Arrival Exhibitions, 1921. The birth of a surrealist mind. In 1921, Man Ray left New York for Paris, a city electrified by artistic rebellion. When he held his first Paris exhibitions, he instantly became part of the avant-garde movement, reshaping global art. These exhibitions introduced something radically new. Photographic experiments that ignored all rules, portraits blending elegance with distortion, objects arranged into dreamlike scenes, works that blurred the line between precision and chaos. Paris immediately recognized him as an innovator. His exhibitions attracted writers, poets, and painters who were at the heart of the Surrealist movement. They didn't see him as a newcomer. They saw him as a missing piece that had finally arrived. These shows signaled the birth of a Surrealist visionary. Rayographs Exhibitions, 1922 to 1925, the reinvention of photography. Then came the exhibitions that made Man Ray immortal. In a darkroom accident, he discovered a new photographic technique, placing objects directly on light-sensitive paper and exposing them without a camera. The result was ghostly, abstract images filled with glowing shapes and mysterious shadows. He called them rayographs. When he exhibited them for the first time, the art world was stunned. Familiar objects looked supernatural. Light created textures never seen before. Chance became a collaborator. Photography was suddenly freed from the camera. People questioned whether rayographs were photographs, paintings, or something entirely new. Man Ray smiled at the confusion. That was the point. These exhibitions changed the definition of photography forever. They opened the door for experimental image-making, photograms, and conceptual photography. Today, they remain some of the most influential works of the 20th century. Portrait exhibitions of the avant-garde, 1920s to 1930s, documenting genius. In the 1920s and 1930s, Man Ray became the photographer of Paris's creative elite. His exhibitions of portraits were not simple collections of faces. They were historical documents of a revolutionary era. Displayed were Picasso's intense gaze, Hemingway's rugged confidence, Gertrude Stein's calm authority, Dali's theatrical eccentricity, Marcel Duchamp's transformation into Rose Sélavy. These portraits weren't literal. They were psychological, capturing not just a face, but a personality, an aura, an idea. His portrait exhibitions became gatherings of visionaries, where the creative minds of the century seemed to stare directly at you through Man Ray's lens. Through these exhibitions, he became the visual historian of a generation that defined modern art. Surrealist object exhibitions, 1930s, turning ideas into sculpture. As his career evolved, so did his exhibitions. In the 1930s, Man Ray began creating surrealist objects, sculptures that turned ordinary materials into dreamlike symbols. His exhibitions showcased metronomes with a human eye, tailor's mannequins transformed into emotional figures, tools reimagined as erotic shapes, assemblages combining humor, provocation, and mystery. Visitors walked into galleries expecting sculptures, but found symbols, metaphors, illusions instead. These exhibitions asked a simple question: how much of reality is real, and how much is constructed by the mind? Man Ray wasn't offering answers. He was offering possibilities. American exhibitions. During exile, 1940s, reinvention in uncertainty. World War II forced Man Ray to leave Paris and return to the United States. The exhibitions he organized during his American exile revealed an artist adapting once again, reshaping his identity under new circumstances. These shows displayed solarized photographs glowing like metal, paintings mixing surrealism with abstraction, assemblages filled with dark humor, works balancing nostalgia and reinvention. American critics were unsure what to make of him, but these exhibitions proved that Man Ray's creativity didn't depend on location. He carried Paris inside him, he carried surrealism inside him, and he continued to evolve despite exile. Return to Paris exhibitions, 1950s to 1960s. The homecoming of a master. When he returned to Paris after the war, the city greeted him not as an outsider, but as a legend returning home. His mid-century exhibitions offered a sweeping view of his genius. These exhibitions showed rayographs from his revolutionary years, iconic portraits of the avant-garde, erotic surrealist paintings, sculptures merging mechanical and organic forms, new experiments that proved he still refused to settle. Crowds filled the galleries. Critics praised his imagination and longevity. These shows sealed his reputation as one of the most important modern artists of his time. Worldwide Retrospectives, 1970s to 2020s, a legacy alive across continents. Long after his most radical experiments, museums around the world continued to explore Man Ray's impact through large retrospectives. These exhibitions revealed his early New York struggles, his experimental Paris breakthroughs, his surrealist transformations, his influence on photography, film, and sculpture, his endless capacity to reinvent form and idea. Visitors walked through decades of innovation. Every room felt like entering another dimension of creativity. These exhibitions proved one truth: Man Ray was not working within modern art. He was reshaping it. Why these exhibitions matter. Each exhibition wasn't just an event, it was a chapter in the evolution of modern vision. NYC, 1910s, The Rebel appears. Paris, 1921, Surrealism finds a new inventor. Rayographs, photography is reborn. Portraits, the legends of an era preserved. Surrealist objects, ideas become physical. American exile, reinvention under pressure. Return to Paris, a master celebrated. Global retrospectives, a legacy immortalized. Man Ray once wrote, "I paint what cannot be photographed, and I photograph what cannot be painted." His exhibitions proved he had no limits, only curiosity.